Let's see how can we manage inventory for a new company.
So the first step is to create a database, which we have done here, and the second step is to install the inventory module from the App Store, which I have done here. So as we install the inventory module, all the dependent modules such as Discuss, Dashboard will be installed along with the inventory module. So if you want to search for the inventory module in the apps, it is very easy to get, and you can see an option called inventory over here. And if you want to just install that, you can install by clicking on activate button, and that would let you to install the inventory module, which let you to manage your stock and logistic activities of your organization. So as we have done all these steps, the next step is to create a new company. So we are managing with a new company and we don't have any kind of datas in the company, and we have to give or set up all the datas in the organization. So the first step is to manage our company. So you can just move on to the users and company and choose companies, which will allow you to create a new company that can be managed from the users and companies, or you can also manage the companies from here. So let me choose the companies and let's create a company. So as we have just created a database, Odoo will automatically configure a sample company here, and you can get all the details over here. Now let's see how can we create a new company. So let me create a new company over here. So I'm giving the name of the company as New Company Private Limited. Afterwards, let me give all other details. You can set the state, country, everything. As you choose the country, the currency will be automatically configured here. And you can also set the state over here. Then you can provide the state and zip code. Afterwards, if you want to set the tax ID, company ID, you can set that, and you can also give further information such as phone number, then mobile number, as well as email and website. And you can also upload the logo of your company. So currently, I'm not giving all these details, and let me give the website of the company right now, and let me save this. So as we have created the company will be configured under the companies, and you can see all the companies that are currently available in this database. Now let's see how can we create a user for this company. So we know that the company will be managing by a certain users. So if you want to manage with the users, you can just get it from the users and company. So you can either choose the company. So currently we have a user, which is the administrator. So as we create the companies, Odoo will automatically configure all the created companies under the allowed companies. So if you do not want to, get it under the allowed companies, you can just remove this company. Or if you want to add that, then you can get all the companies under this database. And you can see the default company is my company. And if you want to change the company into New Company Private Limited, you can change that, and you can see the inventory will be managed by the administrator, and we have different users such as user and administrator. And under the administration, we can also provide the settings, like we can set the access right or settings. So let me save this. Now, so we have just created everything. So here you can see all the users that are the internal users, which means the users, they can be the suppliers or employees in the organization. Now, as we have created a new inventory or a new company, as we have created just a new company, we can see that an inventory will be created there by Odoo. And like a warehouse will be also automatically created. So let's see how we can manage the warehouse of a company. So when we just move on to the warehouses, here you can see that currently Odoo has automatically created a warehouse for my company over here. So as we can see that currently the database is running under my company, and you can see that multi-company can be accessed from this database. So let me switch to my new company, private limited, which is the company that we have created. So as you switch into another company also, you can see that a warehouse will be created by Odoo, which gives your name of the warehouse, address, and company. And if you want to add any other custom field, you can add that. And you can also sort the warehouses based on different functionalities. And if you want to create a new warehouse, it is very simple and easy to create a new warehouse. And you can see that creating a new warehouse will automatically activate the storage location from the configuration settings of inventory module. Now you can just go with the warning. So just use OK. And here you can see that if you want to create a new warehouse, you can just simply create that. And this warehouse comes under the company, new company, private limited, and the address of the company, you can see it here. And here you can give the name of the warehouse as central warehouse. It is mandatory to give the short code of the warehouses, and everything is easy to create. And as you save the warehouses, you can see that you can also configure the warehouses. Like if you want to make any resupply from the company, new company, private limited, it is very easy to handle that. So currently we have just created a database, and afterwards we were looking for how to manage a company for a new database, which means for a new company. And we have just created a user, and we can see that we can also manage multiple warehouses for a company. Now, the next step is to just activate the routes from the configuration settings. Like you can manage here routes as we have just enabled or manage with the warehouses. You can see we can also manage with the routes. So here currently we can see the routes of this warehouse, which means we can receive the product into the warehouse within one step, and we can also deliver the product into this from this warehouse in one step. Now let's see how can we manage multi-step routes in Odoo Inventory for a new company. So if you want to just manage with multi-step routes, you can just use this multi-step routes to manage for your warehouses. And as you save this, and when you just move on to the warehouses, this shows all the routes that are in the warehouses. So let's choose the warehouse that we have created. So as we have just enabled the multi-step routes, this would allow different types of shipment. Like the shipment can be incoming shipments and outgoing shipment. So we can receive the goods directly, and we can also just input the goods, then move on to the stocks. Then the third one is receive the goods in the input, and we might be checking the quality, and afterwards the quality is passed, the goods might be moving into the stock. And in case of outgoing shipment also, we can deliver the product directly into the customer, or we can send goods to the output location, then we can make delivery, or we can just pack the goods, send goods in output, and deliver them. So this is how we manage with multi-step routes in Odoo Inventory, which is very simple. And we know that as we have just created warehouses, the warehouse will be having different locations. So we can manage different locations in the warehouse, and you can see as we have just enabled the routes, you can also manage with the locations. So here you can see the locations that is automatically created by Odoo, and these locations is currently filtered by internal location. So if you are removing the filtrations, you can get all the locations that are currently available for this warehouse, and you can get the locations with different view. Like the location type can be different. So there are different location type like vendor location, view, internal location, customer location, inventory lows, production, transit, location. And we can also use different logistic strategy, like the removal strategy of the goods. So let's discuss each of the location one by one. So if you are setting the location as view, that is an imaginary location that contains no products and it serves as the warehouse base name, and our warehouse hierarchy structure are based on the point of view. Okay, and if you're choosing the type of location as vendor location, that is a location which is completely virtual and that shows the locations of the vendor's product that we acquire and we do not maintain its inventory. And if you're choosing the location type as customer location, it's also a virtual location that depicts the final destination of products when they are sold to the customers. And you can also choose the location type as internal. And these are the physical places within the warehouse, and we can store our products and keep track of the inventory at these sites. And you can also set the location type as inventory lows, which means these are the virtual sites that are used to evaluate the changes in the stock level at the actual location owing to the varieties of factors. And we can also set the location as production. As you said, the location type as production, which is a virtual area within the organization which is used to manufacturing purposes. And these types of site collect raw materials or raw resources for consumptions and ultimate product manufacturing. Last but not the least, we can also set the location type as transit location, which is also a virtual location used to depict the stock movement between multiple warehouses or companies that we own. So as you choose different location types, you can see that the field might be getting changed and there might be trigger in the fields, and you can see that in the locations. And you can also set different removal strategies. The removal strategies can be first in, first out, last in, first out, and closest location, which means that if you choose the removal strategy as first in, first out, the product may be moving from the warehouse in an order of the product that received into the warehouse first will be moving out of the warehouse first. If you're setting it as last in, first out, which means the product that entered into the warehouse in the last moment will be moving out of the warehouse first. And if you're setting the removal strategy as closest, then you might be getting a certain demand of the product and you may not having the demanded product in one location. So Odoo may search for the nearby location in order to collect the demanded product by the customer, and they may deliver of the product by taking the product from the closest location. Okay, so this is how Odoo manage the location types, and you can also manage with the routes. And here we can see we have different types of routes, and the routes will be triggered on the basis of the warehouse configuration, that is the incoming shipment and outgoing shipment. So that plays a crucial role in routes. And here you can see all the routes of the stock and all other things. So let's discuss any one of the route over here. So let me consider the route as new company private limited, which receive in one step into the stock. Here you can see that here we have used the action as pull from, which means we might be performing a pull from when the products are needed in the stock. A receipt will be created from the partner vendor in order to fulfill the need, which means that when we create a purchase order, a stock will be generated from the partner vendor side, and the source location will be partner because we might be getting the product from the partner vendor location and that will be moving into the stock, and we might use a supply method as take from stock. So it is very easy to manage the routes in Odoo, and we have another set of thing, that is rules. And in order to set the routes, we have to set the rules. So here you can see the routes and the names of the routes is given here, and these are the rules. So as you create any rules over here, all the rules will be automatically configured under the rules, and all these rules have currently listed and which are of all pull frame. And we can also manage with the operation types for each of the warehouses. So as we create a new company, we know that Odoo will automatically create a warehouse for the company. And all these warehouse will have a certain operations that can be receipts, internal transfers, delivery orders, return. Then again, we can see as we have another warehouse, these operation types will be again, written there. And now let's see how can we manage the operation types. So when you just move on to the overview, here you can see all the operation types of each warehouse. Now you can also manage these by creating a purchase order. Like when you create a purchase order, you can see the operation type that might be altering with the purchase order will be receipts, and we can manage with the internal transfers in order to move the product from one warehouse to another warehouse. And delivery order operation type will be affecting when a customer places order for a product and when we try to just deliver the product. And here you can also see a return. So when the user tried to return the product, a return operation type will be performing, and all that will comes or count under the returns. So if you want to manage these things, we have to install all those modules. So currently we don't have any products and we cannot perform all those operations. And you can see that as we have just created a new company, we don't have any product. So the next step is to create the product. So in order to create the product, we can directly create a product from here, but it's not easy to create each of the product one by one in a company because a company will have large quantity of product. So the better way to just give the product is by just importing. So in order to import the product, we also need to manage with the product category. Now let's see how can we just create a product. So let me create a new product as a perfume. So let be, name of the product which is of 215. And here you can set the cost, which is 10. And you can see that we have to set the type of the product as storable because we need to get the inventory movement. And here we can see the product category. And let me choose the category as all saleable. And let me save this. So in order to manage with the product, we also need to manage with the product category. And if you want to create a new product category, it is very easy to create a new category. And all the created categories will be visible here. So we have already discussed that like just creating product one by one is not easy or it's not simple. So in order to just import the product, first we need to import the product category. Now let's see how can we import the product category. So in order to do that, you can just take the product category and let me choose any of the category, which is all. And as we have selected this category, you can see that an action button will be triggered here. You can choose that action and let me click on export, and that would allow me to just export the field. So here you can just get the data that you want to import and export in compactable, and you can also get the fields to export. So if you want to just import any other field, you can just click on this plus icon and that would allow you to add that. And if you want to just remove, you can just use this remove field icon and that will be visible here. So as any of the field is using for fields to export, then that field plus icon will be getting dimmed over here. So let me just click on export, and I need to just export the categories, and let me close this first. Afterwards, let me create a new category, which is all. Later on, just put a slash, and you can just create a category which is food. And afterwards, let me save this. So you can save this, and you can just upload the file in order to import that category. So in order to import the category, you can just move on to the favorites, and here we can see import records. So you can choose the option that is import record, and this would allow you to just upload a file. So let me choose the file from the downloads, and here you can find the product category and just open the file. As you open the file, here you can see uh, the fields, and you can just search for name, and you can choose that. And yeah, let's click on test, and everything seems to be valid, and just click on import, and that would allow you to import all the categories. So here you can see that currently 2 records have imported, and you can get all the records over here. And you can also just choose the categories. If you want to create a product under this category, it is very easy to create. So let me create a new product under this category. So let me choose it as chocolate, and here you can see the category will be imported, and you can choose that category, and it is very easy. Now let's see how can we manage with the product, like importing of the product. So in order to import the product, you can just consider the list list view of the product, and you can choose the product which is chocolate, and you can just move on to the actions, and let me choose the export button, and here you can see the fields that to export, and I want to update the data that is import and export compatible, and when I use that, I might be getting certain fields that to export that will be suggested by Odoo. And you can just choose export button, and that would allow you to export the things, and if you want to make any other alterations, you can just change. So I might be giving barcode as BK123, and let me give the price of the product as 20, and you can set the priority which is normal, and default code I want to say a book, or I need to give the category as book, and here you can just give the category as all, which is not food. So let me change the category into all, and here you can give the tag for filtration purposes. It is storable product, and the responsible person for this product is administrator. Here you can also provide the list price, which is 50, and that's it, and you can save this. So once you save this, all the records we can give, and if you want to just delete this product or need to remove this product, in order to remove the duplications, you can also do that. So let me remove the row here, and afterwards let me save this. Okay, so we have saved the records, and let's move on to the sales, and here we can just upload the file by going into the favorites, and you can just import the record. So just click on upload file, that would allow you to upload the file, and here you can choose the file, and you can see we have just click on test, and we are just trying to upload that. So here we have no matching records for name all in the field, And if you want to prevent record, you can prevent record, or you can just create a new value. So let me create a new value and just click on test. And now everything seems to be valid, and just click on import. And you can see one record has successfully imported, and you can see every details that we have given is currently comes under Odoo. So it is very easy to manage with the product importing as well as the category and product importing and exporting in Odoo. As we have just imported the product, now we need to set the opening stock of the product. So opening stock, which is very important once the product is updated, we know we need to manage with the opening stock, which can be achieved with the help of inventory adjustment. Or we can also manage by just choosing update quantity. So currently you can see the on-hand quantity is 0. And if you want to just update the quantity, you can just click on update quantity, and that would allow you to update the quantity. And here you can choose the location, and we have different locations, and you can choose the locations. And let's set the counted quantity. So let me set the counted quantity as 100 and click on apply, then set. So when you just back to the chocolate, you can see the on-hand quantity and forecasted quantity will be updated here. Now, the other way in order to set the opening balance is through inventory adjustment. So if you want to set the inventory adjustment, you can just move on to the operations and choose inventory adjustment. And here you can see that as we have just click on update, set update quantity, that will be automatically created here. So which means every update quantity or the inventory adjustment that you have made for particular product will be visible here. Or if you want to make an inventory adjustment randomly, you can just create it under inventory adjustment. So let me go with the product which is book, and I need to set an inventory adjustment of book with 1000 quantity. And here you can also set the administrator. And if you want to just get the counted date in order to manage with the inventory count of the, that is the last inventory count, you can set that. And if you want to get the inventory frequency or product category, you can get every details. So just click on apply, and you can just set the quantity. So when you just move on to the product book, you would be able to see that the quantity of the book is currently updated. So it is very easy to manage the inventory of a new company, and inventory adjustment in Odoo may be accessible under the inventory operations, which I have shown here. And so there are a few points that need to be keep in mind while setting up the inventory for a new company. And hope we have discussed all these points, and hope this concept is very worth and clear for you. As always, stay awesome, and thank you for watching the video.